Thank you for watching Live and Local KWN TV.
Welcome in, everybody, to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Evan Stone, and this week we're going to Sand Mountain. There's several schools from Jackson County on Sand Mountain. We're going to be in Section, Alabama, and I have with me today Mr. Gene Roberts, and he is the principal, along with Steve Heron. He is the vice principal. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Well, we're glad to be here.
Hey,
Glad to be here.
We're excited about y'all being here, and each week we get to kind of highlight each one of the schools in Jackson County, and we've seen some great folks and places all over. Jackson County is a big county.
It really is. People don't realize how big it is until they start trying to go from one part of it to all the way across to the other part, and then they realize how big it really is.
And the number of schools y'all have is really amazing too. As far as and a lot of the schools. Now, that's one of the first things I want to ask you about. Section is a pre-K through 12. So
yes, sir.
You've got them all.
We got all of them. This is the first year we've had the pre-K program, and we're pre-K through 12. We have about 535 students in section to, the pre-K program. Like I say, this is the first year we've had it and all. Prior to was a K through 12. And I'm not for sure exactly how many pre-K programs we do have in the county. I know Pisgah, close to us, they have one and all also. And maybe 5 or 6.
Before we start talking about section as a whole, I was going to ask, how long you been in education and been here in Jackson County?
This is my 27th year in education. I have been.
You're getting to the short rows then.
Yes, sir, I am. I'm getting real close to the short rows. I've been a principal at section going on 7 years now. Enjoyed every bit of it. Prior to when I first started, I started out in North Sand Mountain. I taught there about 8 years, and from there I went to Woodville. I went to Hollywood first, and then I went to Woodville as assistant principal. Went back to my home school in Rosalie, and now I'm ended up at section. I enjoy it quite a bit. I really do.
Well, you're not too far away there from, if your home's in Rosalie. That's not that far to go. Steve, how long you been in education?
This is my 19th year in education.
Well, you got a few more to go, but
I do.
You still, you got what they say? You got more behind you than you do in front of you.
That's for sure.
So that's good.
I started at Dutton. I was there for just a brief period of time. I spent 17 years at Rosalie as an English teacher and history teacher and basketball coach. Last year I taught at Pisgah, and this is my first year as an assistant principal and at Section High School. Never thought I'd leave Rosalie, but love the place. It's a great community, just like Pisgah and Section. Section has been a wonderful school to be at. All the students are outstanding, and everybody I work with is great.
You in the classroom, you taught what?
English and history.
English. What did you teach way back?
Way back yonder, I taught driver's ed, was elementary PE teacher, taught a couple of science classes, and that's about it.
Well, I mean, that's a lot. Education has really changed over the years. I don't with technology-wise. And I know a little bit later on in the program we're going to talk about some of the technology now that's being implemented in all the schools. With it just seems like if you slow down, you'll miss a lot.
It does. It really does. And in my 27 years, I've seen a lot of stuff come and go. But far as technology and all, it's amazing over just the past few years what has developed in Jackson County and all. I feel like we came a long way with our technology and all, and it changes every month or so. There's something new that comes out, and we try to get involved in it. And in doing that, you got to understand it takes a lot of money to be able to do that and all. But fortunately, we've been blessed. We feel like our technology is is coming along pretty good.
I know one of the things that y'all been able to get with Mr. Dukes, they've been grants. Y'all been able to get a lot of grants, and it's set pace for some of the technology. And I know that Google came along didn't hurt matters with them being in the area and starting to build, hopefully.
That's true. Anytime money, and it's always an issue, but whenever you're able to write grants and everything, to get money and all, it's always a plus. And everybody's out there when there's a grant to available where you can get extra money. Everybody's wanting to be a part of it and everything because it just betters the school.
What's some of the things at Section that y'all offer that the parents at home may or may not know? Not everybody got, the different classes, the different clubs, the different clubs that are out there. What's some of the things that y'all are trying to offer to students to get them career ready and be ready to go? I'm sure you got different paths. You got a college and career path, or you've got, different things for them.
We do. We have dual enrollment classes, and got a couple of my teachers that's going to be talking about that here in just a little bit. But we offer that. We offer the advanced classes for kids that are planning to go to college after they finish high school, and we also have at our school some stuff that gets some of the kids ready. If they don't want to go to college, they may want to get out and get a job, and not pursue further education. I'm going to throw a plug in for Mr. Bellamy, our ag teacher. He does a community garden there on campus and everything where they plant different vegetables and all. The kids get out and help plant and help tend the garden and all. And in return, when the vegetables come in, we allow the community to come out and pick the vegetables when they get ready. And, that allows the kids to, learn gardening and getting them ready. Education, it's come a long way. We have our Epcot Center. A lot of our kids go to the Epcot Center to work on a trade.
Is that Hollywood?
It is, yes,
okay.
sir. It's a technical school. And they can take welding and different things over there that will also get them ready for their future and all.
I think it's good that education as a whole, not only just in Jackson County, but everywhere, y'all start, not everybody goes to college. I think there was a while, probably in the last 10 years or so, that nationwide we were trying to push everybody towards college, and then finally started realizing not everybody was going to go to college. And I think it's good. I know that Northeast Alabama College has really come along to do a lot of dual enrollments and things like that for certificate classes, instead of having to go for a degree or something, where they can actually go right into the workforce.
And that's a big deal with our Epcot Center in Hollywood. A lot of our kids they go get the welding trade and everything, and they're always needing different welding and nursing there, and there's a masonry class over there, and you always have that out here in the real world and everything, and you never stop to think that that's always going to be.
Oh yeah. We can't have buildings unless somebody knows how to put the mud on the blocks, and that's an art. It really is. Somebody has to train you. You can't just show up one day and say, "Here's a trial," and start building a building. You got to know what to do.
You're exactly right there, and the way I know that, I've tried to lay some blocks before, and get that mud.
Easy,
it really does. It's hard to get the mud to stay on the block, really.
Yeah.
But the kids, they talk about it a lot of times. After a little while over there, it's just common knowledge and on how you do it and all.
No, I think that's good. One of the things that it may be a plus for all the schools, or it may be a negative. And I was going to ask y'all how y'all feel about it. But section, when you say section, most people think of the high school part of it. well, you got an elementary school, you got a junior high, middle school, whatever you want to say. It's not like North Jackson High School, where you got Stevenson Elementary. Do you find that as a drawback, or I mean, how do you divide where they all each different part of the school has their own individuality?
Well, I've been at a middle school, or a K through 8 school, and I've been at the K-12 and all. I like the K-12 setting. You have more kids, but it's a close-knit school environment. Section's not that big, and people said, comparing them to Scottsboro, bigger schools in Huntsville, everybody knows everybody there. In a bigger school setting, say Scottsboro, schools in Huntsville, you have a lot more kids, in our situation, it's kind of everybody there. In a bigger school like that, not so much, and to me, it's easier to fit in, so to speak, when it's not as many people there.
Well, I think you said 500 something students. I think in pre-K through 12, you education, the smaller the group, the more chances they are to be able learning in a classroom. I mean, if sometimes I see classes with 33, 34 kids in one classroom, and I don't teach, obviously, but I would find that very hard to be able to instruct that many people.
It is. One year I had 38 kids in a class, and it was very difficult. So smaller class size is great.
Yeah, and I would say that with that 500 in your entire school, you've got the ability to be able to have some smaller classes and be able to give maybe a little bit more one-on-one attention.
You do. We have outstanding teachers at Section. I'm gonna brag on them. They do a really good job. They go above and beyond what they're supposed to do. But anytime you can have a smaller class, the kids get more from that. More of a one-on-one, so to speak, than it would be if you had 35, 40 kids. The more time you can spend with a child, the better off they're going to be.
You do sports. You got all the different sports. I know you got football.
We do. We have football, basketball, baseball, cross country, indoor track, outdoor track. We have golf. We have
softball.
We have softball. I guess that's about it.
That's it.
We don't have, some of the schools in Jackson County's got bowling, volleyball. Some of them have the band and
fishing.
All. Some of them have
Some of them
fishing.
have
and
Some of them's
things.
come along, and
they have,
a lot of
and
fishing.
we've had some interest in the fishing deal and everything, and hopefully in the near future we're going to be able to develop it there at Section also.
Well, good deal. We got a good show lined up. I can't wait to interview Owen. Is going to come on. He wants to be an attorney, and just recently y'all let him go to a class, a mock trial type of thing where he could participate in. And I look forward to interviewing him, talking to him about that. So from brick masons to being an attorney, you got everything covered out there.
We have a lot of different choice there and all. Owen, when he gets on here, he's an outstanding student of ours, and he just got back from Montgomery. He thinks maybe someday he wants to be an attorney, and he got to participate in the mock trials they have down there in the judicial system.
Well, good deal. I'm glad. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I think who y'all going to send up here first?
I think Coach Stormy, him and Mr. Swinford's going to be up next.
And they're going to talk about some robotics. Is that right?
They are.
All right, sounds good. We're talking all about Section High School, middle school, elementary, Section School, as This Week in Jackson County Schools will continue right after this.
The Raceway in Whitwell is always on your way, taking convenience to a new level, 4 a.m. until midnight, 7 days a week. Go by for gas on the go and meet your friends for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Raceway has been voted the best place for biscuits and chicken in the Valley. You'll also find subs, pizza, buffalo wings, and more. The Raceway, Highway 28 in Whitwell. It's on your way.
Come see us at Raceway. Attention outdoor cooking fans. The Appliance and Outdoor Equipment Showroom at the Upper Sand Mountain Gas District is a gold dealer of Big Green Egg products. The Big Green Egg is miles ahead of anything else. State-of-the-art ceramics, a wide range of easily adjusted cooking temperatures, a stainless steel cooking grid, and a permanent porcelain glaze to preserve that signature green color. It's a grill, it's an oven, it's even a smoker. The most versatile cooking device ever. Truly the ultimate cooking experience. The Appliance and Outdoor Equipment Showroom at the Upper Sand Mountain Gas District is the largest supplier of Big Green Egg products between Memphis and Atlanta, carrying a complete line of products including rubs and sauces, plus 90-day same-as cash and financing is available. See us today on Sand Mountain. Take I-59 south to the Hammondville exit, right on Highway 117 to 21620 Highway 117 in Ider, or call 256-687-9386 to learn about the Appliance and Outdoor Equipment Showroom at the Upper Sand Mountain Gas District.
Just two big old boys, full of biscuits and charm. Beats all you ever saw, been making us laugh, ain't doing no harm. Making us laugh, the only way they know how. That's just a little more fun than the law should allow.
If you picture Rick and Bubba University as a campus, we have students graduating cap and gown with their degree in common sense.
I thought this was the end.
He thought it was it.
Halfway. Here's some water. You're halfway.
You know what you thought of? Okay, I'm gonna do what I got to do. I'm gonna get on my face before the Lord. I pray that he shows mercy and he blesses this country like he has in the past.
Day without him, brother.
Come enjoy pizza for lunch or dinner in a family-friendly atmosphere at Stevie B's Pizza in Fort Payne. Enjoy the buffet and salad bar anytime or have a specialty pizza made to order. At Stevie B's, take advantage of Two-Stamp Tuesday for adult and senior buffets and Thirsty Thursdays when drinks are free after 4 p.m. Take out any medium pizza weekdays between 2 and 5 for just $4.49. And on the weekends, take out any 2 large pizzas just $14.99. Book your parties now by calling Stevie B's at 256-979-1234. Stevie B's Pizza, 2200 Galt Avenue North, Fort Payne. Can you gig it? Oh, yes, you can. We know you've been waiting for a long time, and now Tennessee Valley Net is bringing it to you. Gigabit internet service now available in certain areas of Dade County. Not just fast, super fast internet service now available from Tennessee Valley Net. People are talking, I mean really smiling about gig speed internet available in limited areas from Tennessee Valley Net. Call today at 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net and see if gig speed is available where you are. We know you'll gig it from Tennessee Valley Net.
Back now to KWN-TV. It's This Week in Jackson County Schools, where we highlight every week a school around Jackson County. We welcome you back, and we certainly do appreciate the assistant principal and the principal of section school being with us here today. Sound like they got a lot going on, and I think when we talk about this next part, Coach Stormy Stevens and Robbie Saint, is that right?
That's it,
gentlemen. Coach, we thank y'all for coming. Robotics, it's just like a cell phone. You know, 20 years ago, we didn't know what robotics was. Right. Probably 10 years ago, we didn't know what robotics was. First of all, tell us what robotics is.
The robotics we were involved in, or what I did, was the BEST robotics, and it's out of Northeast Alabama, and it's boosting engineering, science, and technology. And what we did is you kind of get a big tub of junk. It's just plywood and different things, PVC, and everybody starts with the same thing, so you're kind of on an even playing field. And they want the students to do everything, which was great for me, because I just made sure they were working. And this year, this would be my 4th year doing it, but my 1st year at section. It's the first time we've ever had a robotics team at section. And I got Mr. Saint to help me, and I had sophomores and juniors and seniors involved with me, and then he got some of the elementary kids and the 6th graders involved, so it was a really neat mix of information coming from younger kids and older kids.
So robotics is just basically taking a little bit of everything and putting it together and coming up with an idea, making it something.
Right.
Is that right?
They were given a task to build a robot, that was like in a fire scenario. It would go in and rescue a little mannequin, and then they also had to move some chemical barrels, and then they had to put out simulated fire. There would be these cups on a tower, and you could shoot ping pong balls to kind of simulate putting out a fire. And so our students were challenged with a way to do all that, to rescue the mannequin, move the chemical barrels, and put out the fire with just, like he said, just junk. And I thought they did an amazing job, just considering that, you know, they don't really have a background for that. So they all had to work together and come up with a solution.
Well, robotics just tells me that in so many different areas, it helps an individual learn all kinds of different skills. Together, working together, thinking about, I got to get from this point to this point. I got to make this do this, and how do I do that? I mean, yeah, to me, it's just an open-ended thing that you can teach.
Right, and that was what was good about this BEST robotics was we set it up before we ever started working on the robot. We set it up to run as a company. So we had a CEO, we had people that were responsible for the marketing, people that were responsible for fundraising, and it had real-world applications because everybody's not going to work the same amount. And so they found out real quick that in the real world, if somebody doesn't pull their weight, somebody has to, because everybody's name's going to be on the same thing. So it was real neat watching them. Some of them work really hard and then have to scramble to help the ones that were a little more shy to really jump in and do their part. So not only was it technologically advancing them, it really helped them socially and prepare for the workforce.
Now, what do you normally teach?
Me? My degree's in general science, but I've taught everything from physics to physical science, taught geometry.
In what grade?
7 through 12, pretty much, everything. Math and science.
So you do math and science 7 through 12. What do you normally?
Pretty much the same thing, except for I don't do any math. But I do have 6th grade this year. So
you do a lot of science as well?
Yeah, I'm a science teacher.
Science teacher. You're by trade science teacher, but you also do some...
Yeah, I'm kind of the utility man. I kind of pick up whatever's left over.
You know, in utility man, they give you a title called coach. And coach means everything.
Yeah.
And, hey, coach, you know, you can do a little bit of everything, I guess. You know, somebody out, you can go in there and teach your class.
Right.
So that's good. That is good. Where do you get to coach from?
I coach the varsity girls basketball and JV girls basketball team. Yeah.
You don't know the Ellison guy up the road, do you?
I do know him.
Okay. I figured everybody.
Year 4 last, I was at Pisgah for a semester, and I got to help him. So we kind of know each other. And then last year, I had the JV at section, and I think we played 4 or 5 times. So we know each other pretty well.
Oh, that's good. That is good. Well, good deal. Well, it sounds like now, how often do you have these robotics classes? I mean, is this something that y'all do every day, or is this a project that you had to work on after school? How'd y'all do that?
A little bit of both.
Well, this particular competition, it's 8 weeks?
Yeah, in all.
And so it would be a kind of a 8-week thing. But I do have some robotics, just some basic programming equipment that I use, and last year was the first year I tried it with the 6th grade. And so, you know, they're really excited about that kind of thing. And so we're hoping to start building a program that we can have last like a full year, just like a regular class. And, you know, just get them involved with some basic programming and other applications. And then when the competition comes along each year, you know, our team should be a lot stronger each year.
Now, the team, did you compete against other schools or different classes?
It was all different schools. I know Pisgah had a robotics team, and then there was a few more from Jackson County. There was a homeschool team, which did really well. Cornerstone Christian had a really good team. But it was any age, any group that wanted to do it. So it ended up being neat because it was a good mix of older and younger, and you could tell that the younger ones were real excited about it, which kind of made the older ones also excited, so it was neat.
I'm going to ask before this segment gets away, well, you said you were at Pisgah. How long you been in education, and where all you been?
This is my 5th year. I was at Woodville for 2.5 years. I coached basketball there also. Went to Pisgah for a semester. I thought I would stay there for quite a while, but I'm actually back at my home school. This is where I graduated from.
Oh, wow. That's
So
pretty neat.
I plan on staying there forever.
Is it seem kind of, you look around and say, I thought I was going to get to leave
Yeah.
here.
I went to school to go back to school. So I've been in school my whole life, and I'm kind of getting used to it now.
Well, that is good. Well, it's good. It's good you like it.
Yeah.
Because the scenery ain't going to change a lot.
No,
It look like.
no.
How long have you been in?
This is about my 14th year, and about 11 at section. And Stormy was one of my former students, so you can tell the way I've molded him into the kind of man he is today. So,
You know, of course, I don't know exactly. I mean, that's got to make you feel a little different when you're now, one of your former students that you work side by side, and a coworker. That's got to be a little different.
Well, that's neat for me because he had an influence on me, and the other science teacher that was there, Miss Robbins, they both, not intentionally, but I enjoyed their class so much. It's kind of what drove me to be a science teacher. So,
well, he was
Group hug.
he was that guy that he could do anything he wanted to do. So, I mean, I'm glad he's at section.
Well, that is neat that y'all are able to work together, and especially the fact you're an alumni there. I think that's kind of neat. I would when he said 14 years. I'll be honest with you. I thought, I was going to say 7, so I didn't know. So I didn't realize he's that much older than you. So sorry about that.
No,
but look, this is great. So you basically, when you're teaching 6 through 12, both of you, or 7 through 12, and coaching girls basketball. Do you have any other classes or anything?
Well, no, sir. I don't coach anything, but just kind of adding to the robotics and the athletics. Athletics at our school is pretty big, and that's one reason I really like this robotics, is because it gets a lot of those students involved that may not be athletic or into sports, and it really shows a lot of talents they have and what they can offer.
I like the fact it's a competition.
Oh, yeah.
I like that because you're actually competing.
Oh, yeah.
Really, what you're saying is you teach so many different type of life skills.
Yeah.
And you may be able to make a robot to do a certain thing, but you're teaching a lot of life skills too. And when you get right down to it, isn't that really what you're trying to produce? Is someone, when they leave and they walk across the stage and they get a diploma, is that they're able to go out and make a living and be a citizen that can contribute to the community. So I mean, life skills is very important.
Right.
So that is great. And obviously you get them back every now and then. You just can't get them to leave. They keep coming back. But is there anything else that y'all want to talk about this? Because I think this is great, and I'm excited for the for all the folks. But at section, y'all sound like y'all really got it going on.
One thing that I like too about this competition is that when Stormy first told me about it, I thought it was just the robot, but there's a lot of other things that go into it. Like they have to build a website, a notebook. They have to do make T-shirts, and so the actual robot itself is the smallest portion of the competition. They're even judged on like how much sportsmanship they have at the competition, and so it's not just a single robot and that's it.
Competition was held at the college,
at the Ag Center.
At the Agribusiness Center.
Okay, yeah. Close to the college.
In Rainsville,
yeah. All right, well, good deal. Well, gentlemen, we thank you very much, and
yes, sir.
And keep up the good work. Sound like y'all really, just talking the chemistry that y'all have with each other. You can tell. I'm sure that the kids really like the camaraderie that y'all have, because y'all can remember. It's not a great thing to have to get up every morning to go to school, but if you can feel like you're enjoying it and your teachers are enjoying it, I think it makes it more enjoyable for everybody.
Our bosses make it really easy to go to work every day.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. They buy dinner for that comment. We'll have more. We're talking about section in This Week in Jackson County Schools. We'll be right back.
college is more than an education. It's a bridge to your future. Plan your future. Envision your future. Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Smith Ace Hardware in Whitwell has been serving the Valley's need for generations with the best brands for all your plans. Paint from Clark and Kensington, grills from Weber and Traeger, a full line of Yeti products, and blowers and chainsaws from Steel. Serving the Whitwell area, Smith Ace Hardware, 146 Highway 283 in Whitwell. Open Monday through Saturday 8 to 6 and Sunday 10 to 4. 423-658-5073. 423-658-5073. Smith Ace Hardware in Whitwell.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Delivering top quality primary health care locally. We are Northeast Alabama Health Services. With 7 locations, there's one near you. Scottsboro, Section, North Sand Mountain and Higdon, Skyline, Woodville, Fife, and Fort Payne. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and of course your private insurance. If you're unemployed, low income, or have a high copay or deductible, you may also qualify for a reduced rate office visit as low as $16. Ask about our free medication program, and ladies, you may qualify for a free or reduced rate mammogram. Dental referrals for our patients with tooth removal and fillings for only $15. Putting your health concerns first, we're Northeast Alabama Health Services. Cervical cancer screenings now available at Northeast Alabama Health Services.
At First Southern State Bank, putting you first is our priority. First with convenience, with branches in 6 great communities: Fort Payne, Rainsville, Scottsboro, Higdon, and our Stevenson office now recently enlarged and remodeled. First with our friendly, experienced staff, always helpful and ready to serve. And first with our mobile on-the-go banking. Our mobile app is fantastic, user-friendly, secure, and free. So whether it's online or in person, you're our first priority at First Southern State Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
School do it. Back now to this week in Jackson County Schools, having a good time. Robbie stayed with us, and then we welcome Joy Sinford. Is that right? Swinford.
Yes.
To the show. First of all, we know all about Robbie. Tell us a little bit about you and what you teach.
Okay, I've currently in my 14th year of teaching at Section.
Y'all came about the same time.
We actually did our student teaching together at Pisgah, so right up the road. So yeah, we've been in education pretty much nearly the whole time together. But this is my 14th year of education, my 4th year at Section. I taught at Woodville the previous years, so. I actually graduated from Section, so I'm back home, and very, very proud to be back.
Another
home.
alumni.
Yes.
Wow.
We produce.
That's by design.
Yeah, we produce lots of teachers. We just if you go to Section High School or Pisgah, I believe Pisgah is the same way. You become a teacher when you graduate. Automatic.
Well, that's good. It's because of the other teachers. Now, the coach would say that. I mean, he was just tickled that you and the other teacher, the other science teacher, Ms. Robbins, was able to influence his life, which is great. Now, what do you normally teach?
I teach high school mathematics. I've taught everything from 7th grade through 12th grade mathematics on a normal basis, pre-calculus. I teach calculus, I teach geometry, kind of like Stormy. Whatever I'm asked to teach, I teach. So I've taught about any math, that high school math that they know there is.
You have 6 or 7 periods a day?
We have we're on the block schedule.
Okay.
We have
4 and
the
3
4 blocks and then a
whatever.
little miniature period built into the middle of the day. Yes.
You like the block schedule?
I love it. I can remember I went to school on the period schedule, and it just seemed like the long stretch of the year. By the time you get started with class, it's time to finish class. But with the block schedule, there's so much time built in to where you can do more projects.
You got like an hour and a half
yes.
segment, and if I'm thinking correctly, like you get half the school half of the year, and then you swap.
Yes, right.
So
Yeah.
you know, so you don't take math all year long. You'll take it half the school year, but it's longer class periods.
Exactly, and also with the dual enrollment built in, it fits that schedule perfectly because if we were in period schedule for the entire year, it'd be really hard. But because now it's basically just built the exact same way that college schedule is built.
Well, let's explain a little bit because everybody that is watching today may not know. They may have heard of what dual enrollment is, but I guess we have to go back to the elementary and explain a little bit of what dual enrollment actually means. Because I'll be honest, when I was in school, there wasn't any such thing as a dual enrollment. So tell us a little bit about what dual enrollment is.
Okay, with dual enrollment, we're partnered with our local college, Northeast Alabama Community College, and students are able to take college courses and get credit for actually their college course and their high school course at the exact same time. So in taking, it's a 1-to-1 ratio to where if you take a dual enrollment math course, you're able to get your credit for high school that you need. In addition to you pay for it and go through the process, and you can also get that college credit for it as well.
Now, is there any different instruction? You as a teacher, when you're teaching somebody Math 1 or whatever, do you teach any different because you're teaching both at a college level and a high school level?
Oh, definitely. The rigor, I keep in mind that this is a college course, and these are kids that they're on that college path and they're getting ready for their college career, and the rigor definitely is intense.
You may have heard as different folks graduate now, they've already got half of their college out of the way because you can get your English out of the way, you can get your math out of the way. What are some of the other dual enrollment classes that you may offer at section?
Well, right now, I think it's just us two. Mine's biology. It'd be 103 and 104. And then Coach Swinford, he does the different maths.
Yeah, I do.
So somebody can graduate at section already if they wanted to. If they wanted to, they could have a biology out of the way if they were going into some type of medical field or whatever that's kind of like a prerequisite. And then, of course, everybody just about requires math, and no matter what you go into, as far as if you're going to get an associate or any kind of degree, you got to have a math.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what's nice is they could actually, like you said, pretty much every degree is going to require some math course, and at section we do teach Math 112, Math 113, and Math 125, which are 2 pre-calculus classes and a calculus. And most of your degrees are going to require at least a 112 or 113. So students, if that's your maximum requirements for your degree, you're actually able to get every bit of your math out of the way before you even graduate high school. So in essence, you're able to go to college, free of math, and you just take your the other courses that you need for your degree.
How do the students respond to it?
They usually your top students are the ones that take the dual enrollment anyway, so they do very well. And two, like he said, we have them every single day, which I teach at night at Northeast, and so I only have those students twice a week. And so I do teach the same classes. It's just at section I'll have them for an hour and a half every day, so we can do a little more. I can slow down a little bit, but they normally do better than the ones I have at night usually.
So you teach the same class you would teach me if I enrolled.
Yes.
At Northeast at night, but then you're also teaching the same class to a 11th or 12th grader at the high school.
Yes, sir.
So the high schoolers would actually do better than the folks at night.
Well, they have a little more time, and like I said, those are a lot of the times those are our top students that are taking the dual enrollment, so they're going to put forth a lot more effort, and they normally do really well in my class. I know.
What and we've only got a couple more minutes. Got about 5 more minutes here on this segment. What have you seen in technology as far as in your both over your 14 years of teaching, math and science, technology. How do you manage bringing technology into what you do now?
When I started out teaching, the same way with him, pretty much technology was a whiteboard. And we've advanced from, and I know he went through the same stages, we advanced from the whiteboard to the access courses where we taught over the internet, all over the state. And now we're to the point of you can teach an entire class online. I teach as well through the college. I teach online courses through Northeast. And I mean, that's to the point where we are in technology is you don't even have to be in the same room as your students as you're teaching. So leaps and bounds beyond where we were even 10, 15 years ago. It's incredible. Through Promethean boards and different things, the capabilities inside the classroom of what we're able to do now. I know, like an example, every lesson that I teach, I record. I have access. The kids have access to it if they miss a day of school. I have a recorded lesson that they can pull up on the internet, and it's like they're there. They're watching my lectures from home. So the capabilities that technology is providing us with is absolutely amazing.
So in the days of, an accident where someone, breaks a leg and can't come for a week or so, they can actually keep up.
Exactly.
And they're never fall behind, really.
Exactly.
And that's good that they can be able to go and pull your video and audio up and listen to it.
Yes.
That's great. On the science realm, as far as the internet and all the technology out there, how do you put that together?
I try to keep up too, and like he said, everything's changed so much. Sometimes it's difficult to kind of keep up with all the different things that's out there, and you'll be just doing your job, and somebody said, "Have you seen this? Have you heard of this?" And it's like, I didn't know you could do that. So, like I said, it's hard to keep up with. But also, I after working with students online and things, I still think that there's a lot to say about just having a teacher in the classroom and just kind of the traditional classroom environment too. That I don't know if that's ever really going to go away.
I don't know if it ever should.
Yeah, because
I can see maybe, doing some classes online, but I think it's, you get that experience of being able to be in a classroom and being able to have that one-on-one with the teacher, but also, the interaction with the other students.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. The online version of it is really difficult if there's not self-motivation. That's got to be there.
Easier to put it off and say, I'll do that as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've never figured out why and maybe it's because everybody wanted to push those deadlines till midnight. Why do you have a deadline? It's got to be filed by midnight because everybody pushes them to midnight.
Exactly.
Well, you got to have a cutoff somewhere, I guess, to be able to do that. Well, guys, it sounds like that. As far as getting a jump start to the future, y'all have definitely given pathways to the juniors and seniors at section to be able to do that. And I know that North Alabama College, they are really, I've had them on different shows, and they're staying way out ahead of everything. To make sure that they're relevant to the community and to the area, and I think they're doing a great job too.
To be such a small local community college, it's an outstanding place. Which I brag on our students as well as section, but. We're very fortunate with our high school. We're very fortunate with our local community college because I'd put it up against any community college in the state. It's a wonderful, wonderful place to go to school.
Now, it sounds like section's doing great too with all of y'all. Now, tell me a little bit about Owen. I'm fixing to interview Owen. Now, he wants to be a lawyer.
Yes.
So
he's an exceptional young man.
He's going to make more money than all that.
Yes, he will. He will. Trying to stay on his good side in case I need to borrow money.
That's right. One of these days you may need his service.
Definitely. I hope not.
There's good things you didn't like.
Okay.
They're not all bad.
Okay.
I hope Owen's hopefully figured that out. It's not all bad. But anyway, we're looking forward for him coming on. Gentlemen, we thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sound like section's in good hands.
Thank you very much.
We'll have more This Week in Jackson County Schools continue right here on KWN after this.
Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell. Providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Folks around these parts have put their trust in the Ponder name for filling their prescriptions for decades. Jennifer Ponder Hicks, Doctor of Pharmacy, continues the tradition of fast, friendly, and personal service at Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy. Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy is convenient to our customers between Dobbins and North Sand Mountain School, next to Northeast Alabama Health Services. Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy gladly accepts most insurance plans, including Alabama Medicaid. When the need arises, have your doctor phone Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy at 597-4020. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy.
At Gross Furniture in Trenton, Georgia, you get the savings, the selection, and the satisfaction of getting the furniture you deserve at the prices you want. Come in, relax, and take your time. Our staff can assist you with the entire process, from expert advice to professional delivery. That's because Gross Furniture is local and treats you with honesty. Just north of the Courthouse Square on Highway 11 in Trenton. Gross Furniture, the home furnishing store that offers you more.
Looking for a great way to change your look? You'll find the friendly professionals at A Classy Cut Salon ready to care for you. A Classy Cut Salon is in the Gross Shopping Center next to the Dollar General. We serve men and women of all ages at A Classy Cut Salon. Call 657-5607. That's 657-5607 for an appointment, or just walk right in for your next classy cut from A Classy Cut Salon in the Gross Shopping Center, Highway 11 North in Trenton.
A memorial marker is a reflection of the way you share your love for a family member who has gone on. It should help celebrate their life. At Heartfelt Memorials, we dedicate all markers to honor and express the love you have for your family members. We can help create a memorial marker to express that love, or even add death dates to already existing markers. For all your granite marker needs, call Heartfelt Memorials at 423-227-8658. That's 423-227-8658 for Heartfelt Memorials, helping you honor your loved ones, serving the entire tri-state area from Trenton.
Welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools here on KWN-TV. We saved the best for last. We actually did. And we've had a good time with all of the coaches, the principals, assistant principal, all from section. But we've got a sophomore that has already set his sights on something big. And we welcome Owen Fairbanks here to the program This Week in Jackson County Schools. Owen, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all. We'll start there. You're a sophomore, and you live in the section community. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've always taken my grades really seriously throughout. I've went to section ever since kindergarten, so I've always been focused on academic goals and stuff like that, and I'm involved in singing as well. I sing a lot, actually.
Do you have a choir, chorus, or just sing in church?
No.
Or where?
Well, I sing at different events, such as Relay for Life.
All right.
So, like, I play guitar and sing, and, you know, when I have free time, I like to do things like work on cars and maybe go-karts and stuff like that, because in addition to being a lawyer, I also have, you know, a real big interest in engineering and stuff like that. So I've always been interested in mechanical things and stuff like that.
Well, that is just neat. Well, tell us a little bit. First of all, tell us about your family. Who's your parents?
Well, my mom is Sheila Fairbanks, and my dad's name is Bud Fairbanks. And my mom works in the school system. She's been working with the special education department. And my dad, he has been a machinist for I can't tell you how many years, but he's for the majority of his life. He started when he was in high school, and he went to, you know, a technical school and learned to be a machinist. And he's got his own business now.
Oh, good deal. And I understand you help him.
Oh yeah. I helped him a lot during the summer, and you know, I'm looking forward to helping some more when I get some free time.
Well, you're studying to be keep it up those grades to be able to get into college to be an attorney. That does take a lot of work. That's for sure. Tell us a little bit about. There's a couple of things. What made you want to go into the legal or look at going into the legal field?
Well, about a year ago, I had the privilege to attend a Alabama Youth and Government conference called Youth Legislature, and it opened my eyes toward the government process because I hadn't known that much about it before. But after attending, I was amazed by how much I learned, and I said that I did that in February. I was approached by a woman from NACE, the Northeast Alabama Center for Educational Excellence. Now, they have have close ties with Section, and I've been involved with them before, and they knew me. So they asked me if I, was interested in attending this youth legislature. And I also attended a conference a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about that. But so all of this kind of led up to the fact that you felt like you might want to go into.
Before that point, I didn't really know that much about it, and that's about, that's the great thing about the conference. It opened my eyes, and I realized how neat it would be to be a lawyer.
Well, tell us, just in the last couple of weeks, you've got to participate in a mock type of trial. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's the Alabama Youth and Government Youth Judicial Program that I mentioned. It focuses on the legal process of government. So what they would do is they would give us a case study to go over. It would have witnesses in the case, and we would have to study the witnesses' depositions. And, you could be an attorney or witness depending on what you chose to be. But I wanted to be an attorney because I was interested in doing that. And so I prepared questions. And I was even the lead attorney for my team, so I even got to do an opening statement. So I could address my teammates and stuff like that and introduced them. And so I would study the deposition, prepare questions, do the opening statement, and after that we were evaluated on how well we did in the conference, which was another great thing about it, because not only did we go and learn, we were given constructive criticism, to see how we could improve the next year if we chose to go, which I'm planning on attending again next year, because it's a really amazing program, and I feel that many schools around Jackson County should get involved in other schools around Alabama, I believe.
How many? So were you the only one from Section that went?
Yes, I was.
And were there any other students in Jackson County there, or do you know?
There was one other student that went that I've known before. Her name is Diamond, and she goes to North Jackson actually. But as far as teams at the school, there were like really any team set up at the school. I was just contacted by them, and now I have a relationship with the Heart of the Valley YMCA.
This is really, really great. You can tell that you have really put some study behind it. What was the case?
Oh, it was actually about a Powder Puff football game. It was the defendant was being charged of manslaughter. It was like a school-sponsored kind of event that had happened in previous years, but it turned out to get out of control, and the witnesses had stated that someone had hit another person, and but in the witnesses' depositions there was a bunch of different ways it could be looked at, and that was the great thing about it, because it was really equal on how the defense or the prosecution could do it.
Well, that was my next question. You said you were an attorney. Opening statements, were you the prosecutor, or were you?
I was actually a defense attorney.
So you were trying to present an argument of why your client wasn't guilty.
Yes, I was. In fact, all of the people there from the Heart of the Valley YMCA were in fact defense attorneys. We didn't have a prosecution team, but I was sort of happy about getting assigned defense team because that's really how I felt the case went anyway. That's
good
probably
deal.
how I would have done
Well, and I know this is probably way premature, just thinking about wanting to go and become a lawyer. Have you thought about what avenue that you would like to go in? Of course, you've got the prosecution side, and that's more of a government type side through the district attorney and that type, or on the other side of private law where you would be a defense attorney.
Well,
of course, you've got plenty of time to do either one, but go ahead.
Well, I have an interest in becoming an attorney, but as time goes on, I feel that I need to understand the process a little better and determine how I'm going to feel if I actually do become an attorney, because one of the things that would bother me is not knowing for sure if the person that I was defending or whatever it might be is, actually didn't do the crime or did do the crime. That's the only thing that would keep me from becoming an attorney. But as far as the process goes, I'm really interested and amazed by, how everything works.
Well, there's a lot of different jobs, whether you're on the prosecution side or the defense side, there's, the investigators. I mean, there's so many different things that you could pursue in criminal justice or whatever. So I applaud you for it. I think this is great. And, and I say again, if you've just joined us, he's a sophomore. We were thinking about a junior or senior, and he's doing this. No, he's a sophomore. So something that you can do every year, and as you go along, you keep your grades up, and you can start some of those dual enrollment classes. So,
in fact, I'm actually doing a few right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Saint, I actually have the Bio 104 class that he mentioned, and I took history, a history class during the summer, so I got that out of the way. I didn't have to do history this year at school. So
wow, see that? I mean, there you go. Boy, seriously, it's a long way to. There's a lot of schools or a lot of years that you have to go to school to become an attorney. But if you can get some of those dual enrollment classes, you're already getting some of that.
Oh, they're great.
Time taken away. get ahead of schedule there. What's some of the other things, real quick? We got a couple minutes. What's some other things that you like about Section?
Well, I like the fact that it's a smaller school because I get to form relationships with people there, and I know everybody, and it's great feeling the comfort of just knowing about everybody. I feel like I would be overwhelmed if I went to a larger school because I would, everybody would look foreign to me, and it's nice having a smaller school like that. And as you mentioned with Mr. Saint, Mr. Swinford, having that smaller number of people in the classrooms helps a lot because people get to, get one-on-one with the teacher. It's not, they're not just set out to do something.
Well,
they get help.
I can tell you one thing. You've already made your parents proud. You made your school system, representing them very well, and you're going to go far. There's no doubt about it. And I've only known you for less than an hour, so and it's been a pleasure to be able to talk with you. And we should have brought you on first, and we could have done the whole show and not put all these administrators and teachers and all of that. You've definitely made the show. Thank you for coming on, and it's good to know that they're allowing you at Section to be able to start looking at what you want to do, and you can go ahead and start getting some of that stuff, and kind of putting your pathway to what you want to be, as they say, when you grow up. Owen, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
We have enjoyed today's program. We thank, of course, Mr. Roberts, principal, Mr. Heron, vice principal at Section, for being here today, and we hope you've enjoyed this week in Jackson County. Next week we'll be interviewing another school, so we invite you to stay with us every week right here on KWM TV as we look into a different school every week. This week in Jackson County.